Hello everyone, this is Toby with Birdsong Studios. How are you doing today? I hope you all are well. Thank you so much for joining me here on the channel. I appreciate your time, your attention, and your openness to these messages. So in today's reading, we are looking at the sign of Sagittarius. Sagittarius, this is in regards to the full moon in your sign, in Sagittarius, occurring on June the 3rd and 4th, depending upon where you are in the world. So if you have Sagittarius as your sun, moon, or rising sign, you may find messages within this reading that resonate for you. We're going to start with the Life Soul Vision Oracle deck by Romy Wyser. We'll be doing the light and shadow spread, so we'll start with this Oracle deck to provide the overall theme, and then we'll move into the tarot. So, of course, Sagittarius, you are well versed in things Sagittarian, so you're well aware that Sagittarius is associated with travel, adventure, exploration, pursuit of knowledge, philosophy, wisdom. And so, especially as we are coming off of the new moon in Taurus a couple of weeks ago, the themes around that were very much around value, one's self-value and feelings of self-worth, how that is expressed in our lives outwardly, how it's expressed internally as well, how we are showing up for ourselves. And so as we're moving now to the full moon in your sign, it really feels like this is a time of integrating and accepting and expressing as well the philosophy of you. So what are the beliefs that you hold around yourself? What is your truth? We have energy conversations, card number 38. Very interesting. There is a sense of, there's a bit of a sense of isolation. There's a figure here alone on this outcropping that's rising from the clouds. And as these blue fish are swimming by or flying by, feels like there's a lot of emotion at this time, as the fish to me are symbolizing water or the emotional energy. When was the most recent eclipse? When was that? Taurus, Aries. Ooh. The full moon in Scorpio, which happened when? In April? I think so. Or was it May? New moon. It was May. May 5th, maybe? I can't recall exactly. It was around that time, though. So it feels like something that came up around that time, the energetic stamp of that, the emotions around that are still at play. There was a lot revealed at that time, and Sagittarius, for Scorpio is the sign of transformation, of birth and or death and rebirth. It is associated with the phoenix, and I get a very strong sense that you're still feeling the emotions around what was revealed at that time, or what startling changes took place that implemented this transformation that maybe you didn't feel you were quite ready to undergo. However, I don't know that we ever feel completely ready, do we? So it occurred in divine timing, but it does feel as if you're still adjusting, and there is a lot of emotion around this that maybe needs to be released with this full moon. in your sign. So what are the conversations that you're having with yourself about this change? Because this is the energy that you are I'm getting the word propulsion. That's interesting. The words that you're using to describe this in your mind, or maybe when you talk about it with others, but I feel like it's internal, mostly internal. There's an energetic signature around that, and at some point, if we want to move off of this outcropping and begin to be able to really integrate these changes and process them, we're going to have to shift the energetic conversations we're having with ourselves and with the universe, because the conversations we're having with ourselves are the energetic propulsion then that we are sending out into the universe, and that creates our experience going forward. Okay, so let's go to the tarot. We'll look at the yin and yang aspects, and then light and shadow, and then external factors and key players. Whoa, that was loud. All right, one more shuffle. We're going to look at the yin energy first for you, Sagittarius. It's important that you be very aware of the words that you're using. Oh yes, you've been on quite a journey, haven't you? Let's look at the yang aspect, please. Yeah, the words that you're using are just... the words that you're using are creating the pathway for you forward. It's not a matter of squashing your feelings about something, but what is your perspective around those feelings? Are you allowing yourself to just feel the feelings? Are you attached to whether they're good or bad feelings? Are you labeling them as good or bad emotions, good or bad experiences? Or are you recognizing that this is part of your journey, and in the journey there's going to be light and shadow? Because within you there is both light and shadow. And can you see the value in both? Can you see the transformation that has occurred along this journey? Can we then begin to integrate this? And it's through how we describe it to ourselves, how we think about it, that we create our story. We talked about the story we tell ourselves about ourselves not too long ago. What set of readings was that? It might have been the full moon in Scorpio. It might have been. So here's the thing. If you can find gratitude for the journey you've been on, all aspects of it, and receive the goodness and the wisdom, and celebrate yourself and for the dark and difficult parts that you've come through, what you've learned from it, how you've changed because of it, how you've grown, then you're going to be able to move forward. The yang energy is the action energy. You're going to be able to move forward with this new, youthful vision. And look, it's like you're starting out on a new journey now. It's a new adventure. Perfect for you, Sagittarius. You're embarking on this new journey. And I'm really drawn to this star right here. So what is your North Star? What is it that's going to guide you on this new journey? It's your truth, right? Or it should be. I shouldn't say should. Well, I said should and twice in that sentence. Not it should be. But I would say if you're going to embark upon this new journey, why not allow your truth to lead you? It's there to light the way for you. It's does require you to see it, look for it, follow it, allow it to guide you. All right, let's look at the light and the shadow. Two of Pentacles. I'm telling you, this Two of Earth just is all over the readings for this moon, full moon. Interesting. Okay, let's look at the shadow. The Father. This came out in Scorpio's reading. Very interesting. I'm going to pull one more for the Father, for the shadow, for a little bit of clarification. Let's do one more for the light then. Wow. You have love and union? Sagittarius. Okay. All right, hang on. Let me look at external factors here. Well, this may not resonate for everyone, but it does. Hang on a second before I start talking. 10 of Earth. Desire. Eight of Air. You have a lot of Scorpio in your chart too, Sagittarius. Do you? Very interesting. All right, we're going to look at key players, and then we're going to go over everything. Oh my gosh, this is like, wow. I suppose it makes sense with, maybe you're a cusper, maybe you're Scorpio, Sagittarius cusper, whoever I'm reading for, but very interesting. This is so reminiscent of the Scorpio reading. So it, this could be talking about union with another person. It could be talking about integration with yourself and self-love. So with the Father and Love both in the shadow and having the Two of Pentacles and union in the light, I really am feeling like along this journey, it could be that something came, okay, we talked about something coming up around the full moon in Scorpio and that eclipse. It could very well be that something occurred that has brought you to a point of your journey where you don't feel as if stability and groundedness and making sound decisions for one's best interests, for one's tangible abundance is can coexist with this state of divine love. It's almost you're making, I feel like you feel as if you're making a choice, and this could be, is certainly reminiscent with the Journey card too. You're making a choice between between those two states. It's as if responsibility and love cannot coexist, is the way it feels. And yet we have union here in the light. And so it's the union of those two things that is going to allow you to step out of this place of being caught in your head. This is Eight of Air, which in the traditional tarot is the Eight of Swords, and it's all about being caught up in your head. And again, this came out in the Scorpio reading. You might want to watch the Scorpio reading because they feel very, very connected. You have the Ten of Earth. This is abundance in all forms, in all tangible forms. This is financial abundance. This is a stable home. This is stable career even. This is a comfortable home life, a safe, secure environment. And as an external factor, I feel like you desire that, but you see it as external to yourself. Like the external factor is your perception. Your perception is, and this is what you're caught in your head about, that this is what you're desiring, which is actually the union of the Father and love. But you've convinced yourself somehow that those two things cannot commingle, that they cannot exist simultaneously. This is very interesting. Over here in key players, which sometimes can be key factors that are internal, and I feel that's the case for you. The key, one of the key factors is there's a choice that needs to be made. The Eight of Earth, so much Earth energy again. The Eight of Earth in the traditional tarot is all about self-mastery. Or, sorry, not self-mastery, but mastering a skill. It's about diligence. It's about working towards it is about working towards a goal, but a goal in tangible means, whether it's working on a project or working on your career or education. But it's dedicating oneself to that and not being distracted. And I feel like, and this is where it differs from the Scorpio reading. Well, there are many differences, but a big difference is this card did come out for Scorpio, but for you, Sagittarius, it almost feels like you feel like that love would take you away somehow, would be a distraction from what you're working towards. This is the thought space about it. See, it even looks like in the thought card she's working on something here. Is she working on something or reading something? She might be reading something, but I get the feeling that she's working on something, that there's something she's creating here, but what she is creating is how she thinks about it. But this is the choice that's going to have to be made, and it's interesting how these two cards kind of are mirror images of each other, with the dark and the light on either side. This is your journey, and it's your choice to make. However, it feels as if the choice does need to be made soon, and this is part of what's going on here. It's almost as if a window is open for this opportunity for you. And it's here to highlight how your perceptions around love and responsibility and stability are keeping you trapped in your head. And the I almost feel like the ironic part of all of this is that when you allow them to merge together, to come into union, this is when you actually are able to receive this abundance. You're able to then be in a place of self-mastery. And sorry if you heard my stomach grumbling. Okay, Sagittarius. I think I'm going to leave it here. I hope this was clear for you. It felt like it kind of meandered around. It took us an interesting opening, but I feel like that was because this is pretty deep within you, and so it had to follow a bit of a winding path to bring everything out into the open. And this could very well be what you experienced around that full moon in Scorpio at the eclipse, because I feel like this is the emotional part of it that is kind of staying, that you're staying attached to. This is the new philosophy of you, and so how are you writing? How are you continuing to write it, or how are you going to rewrite it? This is the choice that needs to be made. And recognizing that there are these great potentials available to you, but how you perceive things going forward are going to determine whether you open yourself to them or whether you close the door. Okay, thank you so much for joining me here. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you for your time, your attention, your openness to these messages. Please be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe to the channel if you have not already. If you're interested in a personal reading, my information is in the description box below. Otherwise, I thank you again, Sagittarius, for being here, and I will see you in the next one.